Hi, today we're going to hear from Pathway Ministries. Recently, they came back from the Middle East, and we heard a story about how God shares his hope and love in a unique way. It all started when Jenny and Lydia were praying on the mountain.
One morning, we'd felt to go up there and just do some prayer and some Bible reading over the city. And Lydia, the girl on my team, heard a noise.
And I heard a noise, and so I looked around, and then there was a girl lying on the ground unconscious, and so I ran over to see if she was okay or what was happening.
There was a couple of cars that pulled up. One of them was a taxi driver who obviously knew the girl from the signaling and stuff that he did, and he basically scooped her up and ran up the hill.
We came to a house, and then inside the two men were there, and then the girl was on the ground and the mum had her on her lap. They didn't seem too panicked. We were kind of thinking, what on earth is going on? But they seemed relatively calm. And so we were trying to ask them, is she okay? But they didn't actually speak any English. This girl has had this condition for 3 or 4 years, where she just randomly passes out and goes unconscious. So we asked if we could pray for her in Jesus' name. And the mum was like, yes, of course.
And while I was praying, I felt like God reminded me of the story of Jairus' daughter, and where Jairus had come to seek Jesus.
We were praying probably for around 20 minutes, and then it kind of got to a point where we felt like we were kind of done praying, and at that time she gained consciousness. And so she came around, and she was quite dazed. But yeah, after that we stayed for a little while, and the mum was really wanting us to come back. And so we hung out for a bit and she fed us, and then we had to go. So then the next day we went round, and she'd prepared this massive feast for us. While we were there, one of the other daughters could read in their language, and so we got her to read out the story of Jairus and his daughter and Jesus raising her from the dead. And as the daughter was reading this story, the dad of the girl that was unconscious was pointing from the story to his daughter, and just totally connecting that Jesus had raised this girl from the dead. Surely he could do it for my daughter, which was so cool. This is a Muslim family, and they just got to encounter an aspect of Jesus that they wouldn't have before. And so yeah, it was just amazing. I think God just really had us there on that mountain at that time. A Muslim family on a mountainside gets to hear about Jesus and how he has the power to raise people from the dead. It was just amazing.
One of the main purposes of this outreach was to see what kind of ministry opportunities were available, and there were a lot, especially related to women's education and mental health. If this is something that you are interested in or God is highlighting to you, leave a comment below and we can connect you with this ministry. That's it for today. Fulfill your purpose, take on the challenge, and live the adventure. I'm Tala, and I'll see you next time.